Hello everyone, today I'm going to do a video on how to set the pod droop. First and foremost, you need to know what the value is on the rear and the front. Ideally, you want them to be set both the same. Right now, this is set at 3.8 millimeters, the front is set up at 3.8 millimeters. And just for demonstration purposes, this point here is 3.8 millimeters. You know, in the previous video with pod sag, I was about 0.2, 0.4 millimeters of sag. I could probably show you how I set that up once I get the droop set. I usually set the droop first, and then I work with the pod sag. All right, so first you measure the point here. So let's just go 1, 2, 3. Measure that, 3.8 millimeters. Now, just simply raise up the pod here, where the shock mounts here, and slide the gauge underneath. So 3.8 all the way to, we'll say 4.8, so 1 millimeter's worth of droop. That's okay, it's not bad, but let's try to increase it. So some shocks will have this knurled piece here to help adjust the shock length. So I'm just going to go ahead and adjust it. All right, you don't have to adjust it too much. But you just have to be careful in making small changes. Okay, so let's push 1 down, 2, 3. So, whoa, we have some problems here. Since I lengthen the damper, the existing spring tension has caused the pod to rise up quite a bit. So right now, I went from 3.8 millimeters at this point here to 4.4. So right now the pod is pointing up. I need to change that. I need to bring it down. And how to bring it down? You want to take the shock collar and thread it down. All right, thread it down a little bit. Let's measure. Perfect. I was lucky. So now the pod is resting at its original height, 3.8 millimeters. I adjusted the spring tension to bring down the pod. Now let's check what the droop was. Originally, it was 1 millimeter's worth of droop. Let's check to see what it is now. So 3.8, all the way up to, what's that, 5.4. So it's gained a large amount of pod droop. Now, you can adjust this if you want. If you think that's way too much, go ahead and change it. What you can do is simply thread the ball cup in to make it shorter, and this will adjust the ride height. All right, so I haven't changed the spring tension, so let's take a look. Let's see what has happened. Oh, now the ride height is down to 3.4 millimeters. Now I've shortened the shock. The spring tension was the same. Now it's at 3.4 millimeters. What's going on here? Let's see how much droop I have there. Like very little, like 0.8 millimeters roughly. I have a problem. What am I going to do? Well, let's adjust the preload here. See what I got here. Oh, it's going. I'm going the wrong way. Well, let's adjust more. Let's add some more. Let's add some more preload to get that back up to 3.8. Okay, perfect. 3.8. How much droop do I have? Oh, I only have like 0.4 millimeters worth of droop. So you can see the relationship between the spring tension and the length. You got to get that set right in order to find the correct droop. So let's try to get the droop back to about 1.2 millimeters with a resting height at 3.8 millimeters. Okay, so right now, resting height is 3.8 millimeters. So what I need to do is lengthen the shock. All right, let's lengthen the shock, get some more droop in there. Take a look at the droop. Take a look at the ride height. It's gone up, 4.2. Well, I better loosen that back a bit. Reduce the tension on the spring. Measure the ride height again. All right, 3.8. Take a look at the droop. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 8. Only got 8. Oh, I need to lengthen that a little bit more. not too much. Oh, the ride height's gone up again. I gotta bring down the collar, reduce that collar a bit. Measure that again, 3.8. All right, back to the original pod height. Check the droop, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Perfect. So I got 1.2 millimeters worth of droop.